Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon, I hope you're well. Welcome to the Adam Matthew and TechShare TextQuest Texas History Month webinar. Now that is a long title. My name's Alex Butler. I am the Communications Assistant here at Adam Matthew. So we're going to be doing a 30 to 35 minute webinar today just on the two Adam Matthew collections that all your institutions have access to. That is American Indian Histories and Cultures and the American West collection as well. Today is advertised as 45 minutes. I'm going to try and get this done in 35 because I know you all have packed schedules, so we are going to get through this. Okay, so, well, as you can see here, this is our corporate website. I just wanted to show you this before we get into the material. If you ever want to know a little more about the primary source collections that we make and we spend our hard time doing, you can, if you click into the collections tab here, you can see the full list of our collections, and by clicking into each one, all the information you're ever going to need. But feel free to ask any questions about anything if you feel you need to. Okay, so let's click into here. So as you can see here, this is the home page for the first collection I'm going to be showing today, which is American Indian Histories and Cultures. So just a bit of background about this. I'm going to click into the Introduction tab here. So while that's loading, just a little bit of background. This is a primary source collection covering material. It's a selection of material from the 16th to 20th century. Don't know why it says that at the top. But, on American Indian histories, societies, culture, and tracking American Indian culture from right from the start, from the earliest European settlers, and before that right through to modern day legislative battles and cultural exchange with 20th century events. So all this material is sourced from the Newberry Library in Chicago, as is American West, which I'll be showing you a little bit later. And it is from the Edward E. Eyre collection, if you wanted to know a little more about that. So if we click into Nature and Scope here, this is a really good starting point. If you just want to get to know a little more about the resource, and we've got some tabs here where we can find a little more about the Newberry Library. I'm going to click into thematic areas here. So a lot of you may be wondering, how can I use this for my students? How can I how can I explain this to students or patrons of my library or school? So I think this thematic areas page is a nice starting point, just to run through some of the themes that this resource covers. It starts from American Indians and the US government, right from the 16th to the 20th century. There's documents on military encounters, trade, economics, some civil rights material in there, indigenous peoples of Mexico, there's Canadian material in there. So you can explore this page, and it's going to give you some really nice in-depth information on each of the themes, and hopefully some inspiration for how to use this in the classroom. Let's have a look at some of the document types. So I'm going to click into the main documents list here. So just about some of the document types. I mentioned that the material covers 16th to 20th century. So this collection is mainly made up of manuscripts. There's a lot of American Indian ledger art in there, and just a lot of artwork in general. There's American Indian speeches and petitions, especially in the latter years. There's photographs, there's maps, American Indian newspapers right up to the latter half of the 20th century, and there's a really nice collection of rare printed books as well, which are fantastic. So let's get straight into the material. As it is Texas History Month, I thought we could have a look at some Texas material. So let's run a search for Texas up here in our search bar in the top right hand corner. Okay, so we can see our results here. I'm just going to show you a little bit around the search results page. So when you run a search, you're going to come to this results page. Just some refinements at the top, some filters. This collection has a filter by document type, so we can see here, just the apply buttons here. Culture area, so we can locate searches a bit more geographically. And also theme, which we've seen in the past is extremely popular with students of all levels. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to search for some scrapbook material. So let's have a look here. We can refine by scrapbook and see what that returns. So maybe I'll just scroll down here. One thing I forgot to point out actually is we do have this dynamic filter column as well, which is going to, even if you refine by maybe a document type as we've done, we can have a look at the themes, cultural areas, tribes that they apply to as well in the right hand side here. There's also a date column, and you can sort by date, you can sort by document type, sort by title as well if you want to sort alphabetically. Okay, so let's click into this first one here. So when we click in here, we're going to see the document details page. So this is sort of a dashboard for the document that we've just clicked into. So I'm just going to take you around a few of the functionality points here. So you run a search. This is what you're going to come to when you click into a search result. What you're able to see here is this where it says 1 hit, 9 hit, 3 hits. These are our results. We can just see a snippet here of where each of our results appear. They're not very good quality, but obviously if you click into one, as we do here, we'll be able to see where our search result appears in the material. So there is only one here, but it's worth showing. Okay, so you can see here that our search result is yellow, is highlighted in yellow. That is because all of the printed material in American Indian Histories and Cultures is full text searchable, which is going to be fantastic and really helpful for students trying to get to really particular printed material. So I'm just going to head back to the document details page. Just to explain a little bit more about the functionality on that page, because that's where your main information is, and that's what most students are going to be seeing when they're conducting primary source research or assignments in class. So I showed you examples of where our search results appear here. We can also use these tabs here if we want to refine our search by just the visual material in this particular document. So across the top here we have a thumbnail viewer, so we can quickly scroll through all the pages in the document. The red box indicates where we have hits. Across this function bar here, here's back to the search results. We can flick between pages here. I'll be showing you this My Archive feature in a second. If you find a particular document but you want to conduct a different search, there's a search bar here for that. All of our documents are downloadable to PDF for personal and classroom use. That is something we do absolutely advocate. So here there's an entire document download button, or you can download an image range. And for students, we've had some great feedback about this, a citation and export button. So let's pull this expandable window down. Now this may look like a lot of information. So this is the metadata for the document. As this is quite a visual material, we've actually chosen to hide this just so we can compact this document details page in particular. But they're not all expandable. Sometimes they do just reside on the native page. So we can see here some very detailed metadata. We make sure that we thoroughly index all of the documents in all of our collections. It's something we're quite passionate about with our primary source collections. The descriptions are a great way in for maybe high school students or lower level undergraduates, maybe students who aren't that au fait with the research or the period, or maybe just new to researching primary source. This description is going to give them just a bit of a lowdown about what this document's about. And we can see here name, place, keywords, themes, and a lot of other metadata, which are going to hopefully give a real flavour for the document. Okay, so let's head back to the home page. So I mentioned that My Archive feature earlier. We didn't quite click into that, but I just want to click in the top right hand corner here just to show you a little bit about that. I guess at this stage, if anyone does have any questions, I'm just checking the chat window. No, I think we're okay for now, but please feel free to put them in as we're going along, and we can come back to them at the end. That's not a problem. So we can see here my personal bookshelf. This is going to be a really helpful tool for students, and we've had some great feedback about it. It's effectively a personal repository. So all you need to do is, there'll be a register here, but I'm already logged in, but there's a register here button when a student accesses it. All you'll need to put in is an email, a password. There's no other verification, and that will give them a My Archive account. And that will allow them to store personal documents or particular images. Maybe they find a nice map or a visual image that they want to use, maybe for a class presentation. They can store all that here, and it doesn't go anywhere, and it stays within the resource. And I will be sending around just some more information about that afterwards. But it's a nice tool and for classroom research. So let's head back to the home page. So we do provide a lot of contextual and background tools within this resource. It isn't just a huge list of primary source content. We are conscious that people coming into this resource aren't particularly grounded in primary source research, so we do provide some really good contextual tools. So let's click into the maps button up here. So I'm just going to quickly show you this interactive map feature we have. So it's just a bit of starter information here. We can see where that's sourced from is here as well. Okay, so we can see we've got a timeline across the top. We've got case studies in the sub-layer here. But what this is it's effectively an interactive map just with a few different features built in. So there's case studies, and if we click into here, we can see seeded land on a timeline. So if we use the drop down here, so if we run from pre-1784 maybe through to the middle of the century, we can see how, the scale of the land given up here. It's quite a drastic movement, and we can use the next and previous buttons here. Again, little blurb on the left hand corner here. Claims commission as well. Land commissions and acquisition and just sort of agricultural policy as well is a big part of this document. Maybe a little more for the university level students. That's something quite precise, but it is a big part of this resource. So we're going to come out of this map now and back to the actual resource. That was in a pop out, so we're heading back to the main page. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you about this is the cross search button. So at the bottom we have this American West button. So American Indians and the American West are both cross-searchable resources, which means that there's one simple search bar and students can search across both resources, access content from both, all in one platform, which is fantastic. And there is also a date range as well. And you can refine your search once you've run an initial search. You can refine that to a more granular level. Okay, so that is American Indian Histories and Cultures. Please feel free to have a scroll through the document list, use the filters, get to know the content a little bit more, or maybe check out one of the videos on our website as well. We do have some tutorial videos on there which may help you get around this resource a little bit better, in case we haven't covered that today. So let's go into American West. We've covered a lot of the functionality stuff. Just to emphasize, the functionality and the layout is exactly the same in this resource. They are identical, just the content's different. So the source of this material is from the Newberry Library again, however it's from the Everett D. Graff collection, which you can see at the top. If we just head into the introduction page if it wants to load. Just a little bit about the document types and the themes of the material in here. This collection covers the expansion of the westward expansion of American society. It covers everything from cattle drive. It covers the expansion of the railroad, cowboys, relations with Native Americans throughout the 18th, 19th, and part of the 20th century. So just a bit about the types of material. Again, very similar to American Indian Histories and Cultures. A lot of rare printed books, a lot of manuscripts, a lot more printed material. There's photographs, artwork, periodicals, and as I said, it mainly covers the 18th, 19th centuries. But this is going to be a fantastic resource for when students are looking at post sort of 1877 westward expansion and the economics, the social change that happens there. So actually, let's just get straight into the documents list. Let's have a look at some of the material. So we can see here exactly the same layout. Just to give you a better idea about the themes covered, let's pull down the theme tab here. So we can see here a range of themes. Again, and we can also filter by region to make this more geographic, or document type. Okay. So it's Texas History Month, so let's run a Texas search. Okay, so here's our search results. I'm just going to scroll down, just give you an idea of some of the document types in here. And yeah, that goes on for 3 pages. As with American Indians, there is a dynamic column here, so we can have a look at our theme, the regional reference that comes with each document, and we can also sort our documents list by title. We can sort by date, document type as well. So I'm just going to scroll back up to the top. I'm actually going to click into here. So I mentioned that rare books are part of this resource. There's some fantastic exclusive rare books from the late 18th, early 19th century Western United States in this resource, and I would say they're one of the gems of this resource, and they're particularly popular with high school students because obviously they're printed, they're full text searchable, but they're almost survey. A lot of them are almost survey books, and they give some really nice primary source content on a variety of themes, so, and I think this is one of them really. So if we click into this page here, so we can see the highlighting. I'm going to move to pages 4 and 5. So again, really nice book providing a survey of cattle ranchers in Texas and trail drivers. And here, I'm going to refresh this page just so this button moves back to its home. Okay, just a bit of functionality about the top here. If you want to have a quick view of the entire document, there is a thumbnails tab here, so we can quickly view the rest of it. We can fire ourselves to particular pages using this drop down. Search within the document we're in. We can use these two buttons here to basically move from one instance of our search result to the next, to the next, to the next, so we can quickly sift through documents and see where our search terms appear. There's also a drop down. This is a quick fire menu for visual material, so we can quickly get to maps and artwork within a certain document if that's what you're looking for. And finally, we have our personal repository button here, and we can download individual images to PDF. So let's head back to our search results. So back to the document details page first. So I quickly skipped through this last time, but you can see here exactly the same as American Indians. We've got all of our search results here. We've got a lot of we can download particular image ranges, the metadata. And if we want to quickly get through the visual materials in this resource, we can also do that here. Okay, so I'm going to head back to my search results when I ran a search for Texas. Okay, so we're back at our search results page. I'm going to refine by theme this time. So just another quick look at those themes. I'm going to refine by homesteaders, overall travel and early settlements, and see what documents we can return. So I'm just going to scroll down. Just give you a quick overview of the types of material we have here. By the way, if anyone sees anything that they'd quite like to look into or have a look at, please feel free to put that in the chat box, and we can go into that at the end, no problem at all. So I'm going to click into this document here. I found this earlier, thought it was quite interesting. So it's only one page, so click in the thumbnail at the top. Okay, so what this is I assume it's a press release from a Rusk County pro-immigration society, and what they're doing is effectively asking people to come and live in their county, and it's quite an interesting read, them trying to sell their beautiful county to other travellers, I guess, and people looking to settle in the western United States. So we can So if we zoom in here, I'm going to toggle the full page zoom so we can get a real good look at this. Again, search terms highlighted. Okay, so that's the full text material. I'm conscious of time, so I just want to show you some of the visual material we do have in this resource, because there's some fantastic artwork and photographs I just want to give you a quick taste of. So all of our resources do have a visual resources gallery, which are going to be great for presentations, great for using in the classroom. They are all downloadable as well. So we have a Lincoln portrait there. A lot of maps. Some great material around the fictional West, Buffalo Bill, and the Wild West shows that toured the world. There's some great sort of advertisements and artwork around there, around that material. A lot of photographs of Buffalo Bill as well, and tracking him through his activities in the United States. Trying to find something really nice to show. Some great portraits there. There's some great photos and paintings of American Indians. Let's click into here. This looks like a nice painting. So the reason I wanted to show you something visual is just the quality of our scans. We do pride ourselves in making sure that all of our scans are a very high quality, making sure that if the writing's quite small, it's either indexed very well, or we make sure the scan quality is excellent, and you'll be able to see that much better in a download form rather than on a webinar screen. So it's just something to remember. Let's have a look at one more painting. Let's toggle full screen. Okay, so that's just a few of the documents. I'm going to head back to the home page. And I showed you some of the interactive maps in American Indians. Now there are some in American West as well. They're more data orientated, they're more around migration, they're more around the political boundaries, as we can see there. So let's just have an explore around here. Again, the same sort of chronology system as before. So we can see throughout time when political boundaries were created. So it's 1840, Texas down here. And we can see a lot of travel routes as well. So transport, stagecoach routes. Also a bit of blurb here on the left hand side. Just want to emphasize these are just contextual tools that we put together and we feel like have a really good place in the classroom, or can occupy students just for an hour or give them a bit of background around if they're just starting out an assignment. They aren't linked. These maps in particular are not linked to the main documents list. They're purely just contextual. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Head back to the home page. I'm conscious we're low on time, so I just want to click into the further resources here. So just a little bit about this. This is a really nice starting point, as the maps and the chronology are, for just starting out with research assignments for students, for example. So I'm going to click into the chronology. There are also a bit of background about the thematic areas, or there's some academic essays which are aimed at a lower level undergraduate or a high school student, so they aren't PhD theses. So that's just a bit of a simple chronology we put together, and there's some thematic areas information as well, as we saw in American Indians. So this is a really nice starting point, and we do link to certain documents within the collection as well that reflect these themes. Okay, so let's head back to the home page. So that is American West, 2 centuries of westward expansion, primary source material. I urge you to go in and explore for yourself. You can get lost in it for hours. It's fantastic material. So I just want to take you to a PowerPoint slide finally. So just a thank you for your time today. I hope everyone can see that PowerPoint slide okay. So just a little bit about what's next. A lot of institutions ask for more tailored training around their school or their curriculum. We can absolutely do that for you. If you just want to drop me an email, if you think you want to have a more tailored session about the material or explore how it can be useful to you, please drop me an email, and we can have a chat about that and maybe put together something a bit more bespoke. The recording will follow up, as I mentioned at the start. We are putting together what is a primary source video, as you can see, which is just a quick 2-minute video, which will be on our YouTube channel, it will be on our website, and hopefully our friends at TextQuest and TextShare will be hopefully sending that around as well, which is just a 2-minute guide on how to use what is a primary source. Any questions, there's the email address, info@amdigital.co.uk. Please, if you have any questions, or if there's any other resources that you would like to look into or explore, please get in contact. Just a reminder, you do have access to both of these primary source collections now, so I urge you to go away, just spend some time looking at it. It is fantastic, and it's the best way to get to know it. So that is everything from me. I'm just going to have a quick look at the questions we have here. Thanks for your question, Sally. You mentioned that documents are downloadable. Is there a limit to this in the resources? No, there is no download limit. You can download as much as you want. As long as it's used for personal or classroom use, that is absolutely fine. You can see my email on the screen there. Please feel free to get in touch if you remember anything later on. So that's it from me. I hope you all have a great day, and hopefully I'll be speaking to you soon. Okay, so that's from me. Thanks very much. Bye.